Hi all, welcome back to the final whistle then for another match preview on the channel. And Leicester City head to North London this weekend as they take on Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Will the losing run be halted then this weekend, as Leicester haven't won in 7 Premier League games on the bounce now? Spurs haven't won in 6 Premier League games on the bounce. So 2 sides out of form in the Premier League go head to head as they clash for 3 points this weekend then. And who will come out on top? I'm going to be joined by Come On You Spurs Matty, my good friend Matty Kerr. He is going to give me the lowdown on Tottenham Hotspur. We're going to talk about James Maddison. We're going to talk about Harry Winks. And yeah, we've got a lot to cover. A few stats I'm going to be throwing in there as well. And yeah, let's get started. Guys, as always, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't subscribed to the Final Whistle. Please get down and do so. It would help me out massively. And let's get my good mate Matt in after I've just read the few comments. Simon, how are you, mate? Hope you're good. I'm good, thank you. How are you? Andreas, how are you? I feel a win incoming. Well, they asked Rude about the Spurs game today. And yeah, he's hoping that Leicester can really go and turn this around and get out of the relegation zone by May. So, yeah, let's get my good mate in, Mr. Come On You Spurs Kerr, Matty Kerr. Matt, how are you?
Geezer, how we doing?
I'm okay, you?
Yeah, looking at your messages, what coming through there, mate. I don't know where your fans are getting so much confidence from, mate. You ain't won in about 20.
I think it's 1 in 14, I think it is, in the Premier League.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not really something we're proud of course. A bit of a hard run with how things have gone at the minute at Leicester, on the pitch, off the pitch, and you know it's things just don't seem to be going right at the minute. But obviously Tottenham are the same. And Postecoglou, things aren't going right for him either. Obviously, you guys haven't won in 6 Premier League games, but then you did win last night against Hoffenheim in the is it the Europa League? Is it? So you guys might have a bit more confidence going into this, but how have you sort of found Tottenham this season so far since you played Leicester last time?
Listen, if you don't feel confident going into Leicester, you might as well be in the Championship, you know? You've got to feel confident going to play. I'm only joking, Jack. Look, Tottenham are frustrating this season. We have had issues. Like, I know people say injuries are part of the game, but we've had hell of a lot of injuries. Yeah, we've got a whole starting 11 injured, you know. But it's frustrating. But the main thing in this is we're still in all cup competitions, even though we're coming out the back end of all the injury crisis. I know Spurs and trophies don't go, but believe me, Jack, we're winning a trophy this year.
Well, you seem more confident than anyone else who'd say that, Matt. But, you know, talk to me about, obviously, Spurs before we get onto the game. Where's it gone wrong? Obviously, you've been hindered with a lot of injuries to some very key players. Romero, Van der Ven, Solanke, who you brought for a big amount, Brendan Johnson. Them types of players who have been missing now for a bit. Obviously, talk to me about how the injuries have hindered and how Postecoglou's sort of getting around this whole mess what Spurs are in at the minute.
I think it is just riding the rest of the storm and get the players. Getting the players back from injury. I think we've got Romero back for you. I think, as far as I'm aware, Romero is back fit against you on Sunday. So touch wood, he is. But you know what? I don't know what's going on at Spurs at the minute with the injuries. I don't know if it's something to do with the medical team. Like Harry Redknapp was talking on TalkSport this morning. He said they don't train half as hard as what they used to. You know, like now it's all like light working training. So how are we getting so many injuries? I have no idea. But I think the medical team, they're getting replaced, didn't they, at Spurs? So I don't know, mate. I think, but also in this period, we've had our youngsters, for instance, like let's say Archie Gray, Bergvall.
Yeah.
Spence, he's just coming from the cold, you know. They've been unbelievable in this period where key players have gone missing. So we've relied on our youngsters to get us out of trouble, and we've not picked up enough points during this period. And plus, key players have just gone missing, mate. Dom Solanke, I think it was just a matter of time before he got injured. He's run himself into the ground. He's played every single minute. Richarlison was injured, so we had no one to give him any time off. So yeah, mate, it was just it's like a dominoes effect. You know what it's like when you get loads of injuries, players are playing. It's just a dominoes effect.
15th in the table, obviously not where you'd want to be, but some would call it a Spursy thing to happen. I mean, Postecoglou, how much pressure is he under, Matt? You know, if he did lose this game against Leicester, then I mean, what's his future looking like? Is it full backing by Daniel Levy at the minute in the board with Postecoglou, or did they kind of sort of replace him? I mean, where would it go from there if Leicester was to come and get 3 points from Spurs?
See, I'm Ange, so I'm always going to back Ange because I feel like if we have our first team, we're a different team to what we currently are now, yeah?
Yeah.
So I do think that I'm fully Ange. If Ange went out of one of the cup competitions, he'd be in big trouble. You know, he would be, I think like the pressure would mount, and maybe Levy would have pulled the plug. I think Levy now is like, you've got to either win a cup and we're going to give you to the end of the season or you're out. I think he would definitely give him the second leg at Anfield for the Carabao Cup. If we go out, I don't think that's the end of the world, you know? Like, I think the Europa League, like we're in the top 8, and considering that we've been playing with our reserve teams majority of the time, no? But yeah, we're in the top 8 of the Europa League. So if we start playing our full strength team in there, it'd be a different story. But I'll be honest, Jack, if you manage to beat us this weekend, I know I'm going around the houses a bit here, and I don't really want to say it, but I think if you beat us, Ange could go.
What's talk to me about James Maddison? I mean, £40 million you signed him for from Leicester not long ago, of course. Do you feel you've seen the full potential of James Maddison? Obviously, he's had a few injuries, hasn't he? He did have a few injuries at Leicester when he was at Leicester. But when he is at his best, he's unplayable, I think. But I always kind of find, Matt, that he'll go missing in some big games.
Do you know what? So on the Heart Now We're Spurs podcast, I always talk about James Maddison, and I was quite critical with Maddison, saying, like, where is he? Do you know what I mean? Where is he? But I don't know if him and Ange have had a bust up. Because why is that Maddison not playing? We need Maddison on that pitch. And when he does play, you see a complete different Spurs. But I just don't get why he kept benching him all of a sudden. But currently, he's always in the squad now. Like yesterday, he scored. Do you know what I mean? He played well. I know against Tamworth and that, he didn't really play too well, but who did? Do you know what I mean? But look, we have definitely not seen the best of James Maddison. Is there a best of James Maddison in there at Spurs? I don't think so.
Maddison was, I don't know, I just don't think he helped himself at Leicester in the last season we had him, to be fair, with all the things he'd come out to the media and that. I think he'd try and be the main man, if I'm honest with you. You know, he'd kind of dwell on things, he'd argue with the media. He's very well spoken with the media, James Maddison. To say he don't really do much media at all, when he does, it's like he's a professional at that type of thing. Maddison's good. You know, he can get the assists and that, but who do you really think's been well under par this season? Obviously, you look at Son, another one who you'd expect a lot more from this season. He just doesn't seem to have got started as well as you'd hoped. Obviously, Harry Kane and him was the real link-up, but it seems him and Solanke have not really hit it off. But where's the troubles gone with Son? How has his season gone? I know he's come under a lot of criticism with Spurs fans regarding performances this season, being not as much expected as what they'd hoped he would perform in. But where's it gone wrong with Son?
Let me ask you this one, Jack, from the outside. So you as an outsider, yeah?
Yeah.
So Sonny receiving criticism from us fans, do you think that's right? Like, do you agree with that?
I think every player deserves criticism if they're very below par to the standards you expect them to perform to every week. I think that's a fair assessment.
See, what Sonny went through against Everton, I don't agree with one bit. Yeah, if you want to abuse a player, like what goes through your mind to start doing stuff like that? Yeah, I don't agree with none of that.
No.
Sonny deserves criticism.
Yeah.
Okay, because his performance hasn't been great, and he's our captain, so he has to take ownership of that. If your captain's going missing at crucial times when you need him the most, you're there to put up with some criticism. He's an absolute legend for us, and I love Sonny. But I think some of the stick he's got is pathetic. Like some of the people, but he does need to receive some light stick because he is the captain.
Yeah, he's your big player, isn't he? You know,
Exactly.
Son. You know, he's done very well for Spurs since he's come in. I mean, he could have probably moved on, if I'm honest. But when you get that captain's armband, there's a lot more you've got to add to your game, man. You're the main man at the club at that point, and you're leading the club to be where they want to be, winning trophies and that, innit, you know. And obviously, you've touched on that you think you're going to go and win a trophy this season, Matt, which I think you'd be delighted for since 2008 or when you even won the Audi Cup in pre-season. But yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to stop you, Jack. I like you, Jack, as a person, right? I think you're a good lad, right?
Yeah.
But you like to have these little digs at Spurs, and I hope we pump you on Sunday just so you're not sitting there smiling like that. Because you always like to remind me of the Premier League win, the FA Cup win, do you know what I mean? And 2008 or whatever. You love to throw that down my neck. Do you know what? I hope we pump you, Jack. Do you know that?
Tell you what, there'll be much smiling from me this season. Hello, LCFC forever. Ross talks about 2016. Leicester versus Spurs were battling for the Premier League title. 2025, he feels it's a relegation battle. How times have changed.
Oh, good Rossi. Listen, look, if there wasn't worse teams below us in the league, like, for instance, quite a big level, I would start thinking, looking over my shoulder, start worrying. If you beat us on Sunday, I'd start looking over my shoulder because I'd be like, hang on. But I feel like we're well safe. Like, we are safe. I think we're not in a relegation battle. But, yeah, I can see as the table looks, we are, yeah.
Ross also goes on to say, Matt looks like he's speaking.
Brilliant. Love it.
You have a dining room at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Matt, that they put you in to interview you. You know, they might interview you for the job at some point.
Oh, I love it.
Matt, Spurs v Leicester. What's your thoughts really ahead of this one? What's your initial thoughts on the Foxes? I mean, 15th v 19th. Ruud van Nistelrooy's men. I mean, they seem to be struggling down the bottom of the table at the minute in the Premier League and the relegation battle. Spurs, I mean, won't take this game lightly, will they, for sure? Yeah, looking at this one, I don't think we've beat you in a while, have we? At the Spurs Stadium since when we won 2-0 in COVID. So it's been a while. It's one that Leicester want to get something out of this game and stop the rot with the 7 straight defeats that we've had in the Premier League. So, yeah, talk to me about Spurs v Leicester. I mean, how big of a game is this one?
I think you're playing at a time where players are returning back from injuries. So if you'd have played it 3 weeks ago, you could have heavily just come and got 3 points. Like Wolves, they come and played us, didn't they? And they got a 2-2 draw. But we were very light then. And I think players are coming back from injury now. So I feel like I think if we've even got like a back 4 now, you know, like, do you know what, Jack? I do think Spurs will beat you on Sunday. My issue with Leicester is, are you even going to have a manager on Saturday?
Yeah, Ruud will be in charge. obviously there's been some speculation, hasn't there, this week? I don't know if you've read a lot about it regarding Ruud van Nistelrooy and a bit of behind the scenes malarkey, and he could walk if he isn't back this January transfer window by the board. He comes frustrated and unhappy. So, yeah, there's been a lot of speculation this week regarding Leicester and Van Nistelrooy's future. But then they did ask him about that today, Matt, about his future at Leicester. And he said, well, I'm focused on the Tottenham game. But they said, what about if it's 8 defeats in 8, then what? And then he said, yeah, it's not one I want to comment on.
Right, so 8, let's say, for instance, you lose 8 on a spin. Is Ruud van Nistelrooy under serious pressure to get sacked before the end of the season?
I think any manager's under pressure when you're 8 defeats in 8.
But you will be losing 8 in 8, yeah. So it'd be a different conversation, yeah.
To you, maybe. I don't know about myself.
No, what? So, like me with Leicester, I've always actually liked Leicester. Like when you played in the FA Cup final, obviously when you won the league, obviously I wanted us to win the league and whatnot. But I think everyone likes Leicester. No one dislikes Leicester, do they? Probably from like Coventry or Nottingham Forest or whatever, you know. My issue with Leicester, I think you had Steve Cooper, he had you above the relegation zone.
Yeah.
It was one of them things where the first season, you just needed to stay in the division, no matter how pretty or ugly it was. You just needed to stay in the league, yeah? You got Ruud van Nistelrooy, not proven. He's come in and he's not. You played West Ham his first game, and you got very lucky that game against West Ham, didn't you? They had about 31 shots at your goal. And then you went somewhere and got a draw. Where did you get the draw?
Brighton at home.
And that was 2-2, but you were 2-0 down.
Yeah.
So again, like you think, but there's not been any performances that stand out and you think, do you know what? We're going in the right direction. So I do think with Ruud van Nistelrooy in charge of you, it's not like you're going to have a low block, try and counter-attack us. He tries to go there and play football and attack, you know? And I think you're in trouble. I do think you're in trouble.
I think this isn't his team, is it? You know, he's not going to make this team world beaters, is it, to be fair? You know, it's not. There's a lot of players that are just not up to standard. I mean, some would probably say that Leicester will go down this season. With everything that's going on. I mean, Ruud was promised a backing in January and failed to do it. At this minute in time, 24 days in, we've brought in one player in Woyo Koulibaly for just less than £2 million. So we're not spending bloody big bucks, are we? But then PSR's on our bloody case all the time, isn't it? So, you know, they're watching us heavily. I think Ruud is unhappy, you know what I mean, with not being backed and that, being told that he'd have funds to spend in January, but then you come 2 months in and the January window's here and he's not got anything to work with. The defence is, you've got the same players who got us relegated in the 2023. What went down to the Championship with us, your Vestergaard, your James Justins and them types of players. And then you fast forward 2 years, and you're back with the same squad again, and you're thinking to yourself, we've not changed anything, have we? You know, we've not developed in the thing. I know we brought in a Koulibaly, but just doesn't feel like that defence is strong enough. The defence hasn't been good enough this season. We've conceded 48 goals in 22 games in the Prem.
So now when you're singing about your owners now currently, is that going to continue after the transfer window shuts, or is it just to put pressure on your owners to spend money during this window?
I think with the fans, there's a bit of frustration. You know, we obviously chanted about sacking the board, Rudkin out, which is John Rudkin's the director of football who deals with the transfer business and that. Obviously, Top's the main man who the money comes from in it to spend. But I just feel there's really frustration there. The fans want to see Leicester do well and succeed, and some clubs have called us entitled, and I don't think we're entitled at all. Every fan, whatever club you support, you want to see your club do well. You want to see them succeed. And this is my main issue with being called entitled, because entitlement is you should be somewhere. Do you get what I mean? It's like Sunderland, or some people say Leeds entitled. They have to be in the Premier League. They have a right to be there. No one has a given right to do anything in no matter what sport it is or anything like that. You've got to earn it. You get what I mean? I just think with Leicester, we're lacking, you know, that we've not got enough quality. You know, you look at our bench, Deco Dover-Reid, Oliver Skip, £25 million, Caleb Okole, £13 million, and none of them are being played, really. And you've spent £33 million between Oliver Skip and Caleb Okole in the summer. Yeah. And that's a big chunk of transfer money on just 2 players. Deco Dover-Reid just not at the level for me. And, you know, you look at Jordan Ayew, you know, yes, he can do a job, but I think he's more of a come off the bench type player. He's not a starter, but then we're relying on Jamie Vardy again to score goals at the age of 38 when we've got no one better to come in and do it. And this is our issue, isn't it? You know, this squad with Ruud, I just don't think he can get the best out of it. But I think if a Pep Guardiola came in, or a Van Nistelrooy, Klopp or Ferguson or anyone like that, it'd be the same issue.
You know, when there's managers that play their philosophy, and no matter like Company last year at Burnley, they play their philosophy and they're going to go, if they go down, like Prince and Company got something out of it, like Russell Martin for Southampton, he plays that philosophy and I think he'll get a decent job out of it. Yeah. Ruud van Nistelrooy, he's playing his own philosophy, but it's not even standing out, you know? Like, so the aim is to just keep you in the division for this season, and then you've got another win, the transfer window, but he's playing attacking. When, like, look at your defense. Like, Spurs have a weak defense currently, but it's still better than Leicester's, you know. Like, James Justin's got a mistake in him every single game. Your 2 centre-backs combined is about 90 years old.
Yeah.
And then the left-back with the curtains.
Well, Christensen, who looks more like a bloody pop singer than a bloody footballer, Well,
that's what I mean. So, look, I think overall it's always hard, and it suits the Premier League clubs in the division. Yeah. With like when you come up to get the parachute, like the money coming up, you know, like 150 million, whatever they call it. Yeah. It's always hard because it's like you've got to take that gamble to try and stay in the league. But if you go down, you're going to get done for PSR and financial fair play and stuff, you know. So it's tough. But it is. I don't know. I just think Van Nistelrooy is going out to play attacking football for you guys, but you haven't got the players or the back line to deal with that. Yeah, I thought Liverpool away, you put in a really good performance.
I think when you get Liverpool and that, you've got to defend, haven't you, and attack at the right times. I thought we did that. We always seem to score early when we get to Liverpool, and then we just throw it away somehow, and you think, typical this is, isn't it? Every time we go here, we score early and then we lead the game, and then it took them like 46 minutes, I think it was, to score the first goal. And you think, you know what, we've done all right in this first half. Second half, you know, it's just about staying in the game, but then they score early and you make that defensive error again, and then you kind of be complacent. And this has been Leicester to a T, complacency. There's lack of desire, lack of commitment, lack of fight. But then the thing is with Leicester, with Top, he's got to start sort of making big decisions and reshuffling that board, you know, because these people advise him in it. You know what I mean? John Rutkin and that, they'll advise him to make certain decisions and that. And he's got to get rid of them type of people, in my opinion, if this club's to go forward and push on, Rob, because at the minute we look like we're very much declining and we're heading back down to the Championship again at this minute in time. And when things start coming out from the media about managers arguing with players and this, that, and the other, it don't look pretty, does it? But then Leicester's just like a bloody Hollywood film, and you know, everything seems to be happening at Leicester and not at other clubs.
That's why I was thinking, is it now you're ramping up the pressure on your owners to try and spend some money to keep you up? And then when the window shuts, are you just going to concentrate on the team? Because if you keep slating the owner in February, that when the transfer window's shut, it's just going to have an effect on the team, isn't it?
Yeah, the fans they want him to back the manager. You know, and the manager should be back. Bring their own players in, and if they're not going to bring their own players, he's not going to back. There's only one way for him. I mean, at PSV, the board kind of got rid of his 2 best players. Lack of backing from the board at PSV, and then he said, "Stuff this, I'm off, I'm walking." He did. He left. And this could be the same situation at Leicester, where, you know, if he's not back this January transfer window, he might not even be here by game week 38. He might think, I've had enough of this. They've not backed me. They've not promised me what they did for me to take the job on. See you later. And I wouldn't be shocked if he did.
And are you there Sunday, Jack?
I am.
What time does your coach land in?
Probably about dinner time, which is about 12 o'clock, isn't it? So lunchtime.
What time are you setting off? About 8?
9 o'clock, 9:15.
You're probably getting about 12:1.
Yeah, 12.
I'm going to meet you before the game. And I'm going to get you the best. I'll buy you the best chicken burger for your food review.
So I think I might need a bit more than a chicken burger to watch Leicester this weekend. No, I'm joking.
How do you think you'll get on? You got any injuries going into the game?
Yeah, indeed, he's out. Still, he's going to be getting back on the grass. Obviously, Mads Hermansson's he's in like a recovery program with the medical team and that. He's progressing well. Fatu's long term. Ricardo's not really been mentioned. I did talk to Ricky P before the Fulham game, and he said they'll be back within the next 3 to 4 weeks, which I think is a good sign. I think we need it, to be fair. He's a really key player. But no, I think that's really it. You know, I think we'll go with the same type of team that played Fulham, because we've got lack of options, haven't we? You know, we've not got the options that other teams have got where they can just bring on real quality players and that to change a game or put them in a team. I mean, Buonanotte and El Canus they've worked well together this season for a majority of parts. But then it's like the two CDMs, it's like the switch off in big moments. I noticed it against Fulham, Winks and Samara, they switched off in big moments, and then you start conceding goals. And this has been our main issue defensively. It's like they just sleepwalk, and then people get round them, and then the defence is vulnerable, and then we're just conceding left, right, and centre. But we're conceding more goals than we are scoring goals. I mean, we had a lot of chances against Palace in the first half, never put it away. Second half comes, they're 2-0 up, and you're thinking, Jesus Christ, man.
I think that's the issue as well. When you're struggling down the bottom, or when you just come up from the Championship to the Premiership, if you've got a good home record, you've got a good chance of staying up. And how many games have you won at home this season?
So in the Premier League, we have won 1.
Who did you beat?
No, 2. 2 we've won at home. 2.
Well, you were still bouncing the other day because you beat QPR.
We beat Bournemouth in the league 1-0. We beat West Ham 3-1, and then we beat. Yeah, that's it in the league. We've won 2 at home in the league.
And then you've got a couple of draws in there, though, haven't you? Like Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton and you lot at the start of the season, and obviously we did beat QPR in the league, but yeah, the thing is though, Matt, there was a stat that I read the other day. Leicester City have kept, I think it's two clean sheets in 43 Premier League games. I think it is. In 43 Premier League. Yeah, Leicester have wrote off the debt to King Power for £124 million, which is good on top, to be fair. The thing is, we need backing in it in the transfer market, because this transfer market is about 10 days left. You know, it runs out of time, doesn't it, Matt, when you stand still?
Well, do you know what, mate? We've been in the same boat, though. Levy's known all window that we've been absolutely smashed with injuries. And we've been crying out for reinforcements. And then Ange come out the other day and said, more than likely, we won't sign no one else this window. We're like banging our heads against the wall. And a KA.
Would I work at Blue Tinted Glasses? I'd go on the channel and if invited in it, but you know, they're doing a great job over there at Blue Tinted Glasses. Big up to Locks in the team, but yeah, I've got my own channel to doing it. Are Spurs starting the bloke on security up front yet?
Mate, I think we're more likely we need defenders more than strikers at the minute. Do you know what? I think Richarlison's back for you though. Sonny loves a goal against you, don't he? So
yeah, I remember the game last time we come. He didn't score for about 8 games. And then he scored a hat when he came. I was like, fuck off, man. It's going to happen, isn't it? Every player that plays against us, Matt, who doesn't score for a certain period of time or even longer, they always score against Leicester. Leicester's the man who just say, here's the ball, do what you want with it, and, here's your invitation. But Matt, Oliver Skipp, I mean, would you take him back at Spurs? Does he fit in your credentials? I mean, if you had to take one of them back, Skipp or Winks, who are you going for?
Winks all day. Winks in the Ange system would have been good. I'll say that now. He's a forward thinker. Like, he goes forward. Skipp, I've never seen him make a pass or forward pass or back pass. He's always going sideways Skipp. But look, 25 million, Jack, yeah? You got Levy, yeah? So we feel that every single week, of Daniel Levy. So I'm glad you felt some of the pain we went through.
Ask Matt, has he seen the Audi Cup?
Do you know what, Tony? I've done the stadium tour, but they kept that for the premium stadium tours members. I didn't pay the premium price, so I didn't see the Audi Cup.
Yeah. I mean, if the Audi Cup goes down as a major trophy for Spurs, then, it is what it is, Matt.
Why are you not playing Skippy?
You are?
Why are you not playing Skippy? You're borrowing 25 million.
He's not good enough. The guy. Do you know what? We've overpaid for him massively. He's a bang average Championship player, in my opinion. He's probably worth about £8 million. Do you get what I mean? He's not worth 25 million. I don't even know who's overpaid. Rudkin. Yeah, Rudkin talks out our transfers, and he's just like, nah. Leicester fans complained about the fee at the start of the season, and I think it is 20 million, 25 million for Oliver Skipp, and you're thinking, Steve Cooper brings him in, and you're thinking, just give him a chance, innit? He's just not proved it, has he? And I just don't think it's worked out. It's like Bobby Decordova. We signed him on a free, but he's not good enough. The guy's a Championship player at best. He's a good runner, but he just chases the ball, but it's not what you need. Ask Matt, you're looking forward to a Championship when they get relegated?
Aidan ain't got a clue what he's talking about. He's on my TikTok now, waffling away as well. Like, he's a Burton Albion fan. What's he know?
Jesus. Right, Matt, let's have a look at some stats. Speaking of the Foxes shipping goals away from home, they've conceded at least 3 goals in each of their last 5 Premier League defeats against Tottenham. Although a Steve Cooper-led Leicester outfit came away from August's encounter with a creditable 1-1 draw. I mean, talk to me about that last game. You lot could have had about 3 or 4 in that first half,
This season, yeah?
Yeah, this season, went to start the first game of this first game.
We started the season well, I thought. Like, the football we were playing was well. We just couldn't put away our chances. Solanke was played in that game, and then he was ruled out again. And he played every single game for Bournemouth. Come Spurs, plays 1 game and got injured. But we did play. We did put away our chances, Jack, and that was the start of the season. If you don't put away your chances, you're going to get punished. Like you're saying against Crystal Palace. Yeah. You had chances, you don't score, you get punished. Second half, though, you could have won it.
We could have, but then it kind of slowed our momentum down a bit in the second half.
I say this about Spurs, though, Jack. I do say this about Spurs.
Vardy scores. Could have scored a second.
What's that, mate?
Vardy could have scored 2 in that game. If the goalkeeper positioned himself well for that second shot, though. But
I think when Ange's ball clicks, it clicks. Yeah, like you could see the season. We've gone to Old Trafford, we've gone to Man City. Do you know what I mean? And played them off the park, and the goals have gone in. If we put up our chances, we are dangerous, and that's why I'm fully behind Ange, because I believe there is something there. Wait till the full strength team comes, and I do think there is something there. The last game I was in Spain. I was in Spain watching that. And I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was fuming at full time, though. Fuming. Because I think, how have we not won that game?
Well, we could have. It was a game of 2 halves, wasn't it? Spurs had the first half. Leicester had the second half. And, I think it'd have been an even draw, to be fair, you'd probably say, in the end.
It was. But you know what it's like, Jack? If we went 2-0 up or 3-0 up before half time, you're out the game. There is no second half. Because the game was 1-0, you was always still in the game. And the 1-0 scoreline is a horrible scoreline. But look, credit to you boys. But yeah, listen, I hope we pump you on Sunday, mate, just to because I can't stand Ross's comments in here either.
The thing is of Vardy, he's got a good record against you lot, hasn't he? I think he's scored 9. You know, when Harry came here at Tottenham, he used to have a good record against Leicester. Every time he'd play against us, he'd score.
Yeah.
And you knew the script before he even wrote the game. Vardy, obviously, he's a shit house, and he, even when he went off against Tottenham, he said to Tottenham, "Well, we've won 1 Premier League title, you've won none."
I like that though. I like that.
But then Romero started arguing with him, and he told him to F off.
I know. But the thing is, it's all right, for fans to just abuse players, and I like when the players can give a little bit back.
Yeah,
I like that.
They have to accept it, though, don't they, Matt? If they're going to give it, they can take it back, can't they?
Of course.
This is the thing. Let's have a look at another stat. Leicester do not have to go far back for their most recent success on Tottenham's turf, though prevailing 2-0 during the behind closed doors days of December 2020. I think Vardy got a goal in that one as well. I think Alderweireld scored a own goal, I believe, and not since a Division 2 clash in 1948 has this contest finished goalless. So we've never had a 0-0.
Who was that? That was Mourinho then, if it was COVID.
It might have been Jose, 2020.
Yeah.
I don't think it was Espirito Santo, was it?
Everyone says about Liverpool fans, Liverpool's Premier League don't count because it's in COVID year. That result don't count, Jack. Take that back.
I'll take the win. A big 3 points. You lot would have accepted it, wouldn't you, if you lot had won the game?
Mate, what? We got to the cup final and sacked Mourinho a couple of days before.
Hold on a minute. When COVID were on, you lot were accepting the goals when Gareth Bale was scoring, and you lot were beating us last game of the season at the King Power.
Oh, well, when you was up bottled top 4?
Do you know what we somehow fell apart, and it was just like Vardy scored two penalties in the game, I think it was, and then we just somehow fell apart. As soon as Gareth Bale come on, it was just like, I don't know what happened. The defence had crumbled. I
don't know how you bottled top 4 that year though.
No, I don't know how we did it the year before either.
It's small margins. If you'd have got top 4, you may not been in this mess now.
No,
it's crazy.
1948 Spurs last trophy, I think. Oh. Ross is giving it. Clibbo, we're shy. Spurs will do us, unfortunately. Spurs are favourites, aren't the Matt, for this game. But who do you really think the key players are? I mean, we'll talk about team selection and scores later on, but who's the key players that Leicester need to look out for? I mean, obviously Maddison's going to be one of them, against his former club, Son. But then, are there any other players you really think could really do well in this game for you lot?
Yeah, I think Richarlison. I think Richie. I think he will get a lot of service in this system. The way Spurs play, we create a lot of chances. You just come back from injury. Richarlison will be one. Sonny always scores against you.
Yeah.
If Kulu and Maddison turn up, they're the two that we're going to create most from midfield. Who have we got to look out for? Vardy.
Who we got to look out for? Philbert the Fox. No. Yeah, Vardy, he's got to start taking his chances. He's had a lot of chances. I think he's had 19, I think it is, in his last few games, in shots, in the last few Premier League games. So he's got to start taking his chances.
Do you think this is Vardy's last season?
Well, he said he could go till he's about 40.
Yeah.
So
it's a way of saying that. If the performances are not there and he's not putting in the ball in the back of the net, he's still fast though, isn't he?
He's still quick.
Yeah.
It might not be as quick as he used to be, but he's still quick. He's lost some would say a yard of pace. If you look at him, some of the chances that he missed in recent games, some people say a few years ago they buried them chances, and you're thinking Vardy's still clinical. He is. He's the one we rely on because we haven't got a good enough striker. Edward, I think he's only played one Premier League game this season, and he's sitting on 90 grand a week. He's turned down a £15 million move to the MLS, and then You're thinking Patson Daka, another one who I just don't think Daka's got it for me in the Prem. I know Rude said I'd love to work with Daka and get the best out of him, but I just don't think any manager can, to be fair. I love Daka as a bloke. I think he's great. You know, he shows he's got real energy. He's always smiling. He's always happy, and you know, he's a great bloke. Met him a few times outside of football, and he's really nice. But yeah, El Kanous he's been very far better in really recent games. I think he'll be one who could cause you a problem if we can get the best out of him. He's the main creator. Buonanotte is a good player, obviously on loan from Brighton. I think he's got a. He just wasn't. He wasn't. It's his best against Fulham. I don't think many players were that second half. But I think he'll be another one to look out for. But Mavididi, see, I kind of get frustrated with Mavididi that he just doesn't take his players on more than he should. Do you know what I mean? He'll stand them up, but then he'll go backwards more than take them on. I'm thinking if he can add more to his game with attacking, he'd do a lot more. But he just goes missing more times than not. But I'd be happy and smiling if I was on his wage. I mean, yeah, I don't know, not Patson Daka, Bilals like Maddison that we had when we got relegated. Daka does not have it in him. League One, mate. I like him, but he's not good. He's not the right player. I mean, we sold Tom Cannon yesterday, Matt. £10 million, Sheffield United. I'd rather have kept him, if I'm honest with you. I think he could have offered a lot more to what we've got in strikers at the minute. But yeah, I think they're my most watch players. Whether they turn up or not is another thing.
Do you think you'll get your off?
I tell you what, if you start pressing us, we make mistakes. And this is the thing. Leicester like to play well out from the back, but I feel we need to be more quick enough and a more adaptable with a bit more energy. Do you get what I mean? A bit more desire to get forward.
I tell you what, though, Jack. If you went 1-0 up on Sunday, you'll see a toxic fan base turn very quickly in that stadium. So I think for your end, you need to score first. But if we score, then it'll push the team on, you know. But if we do go 1-0 down, fans will turn.
Yeah, we've kind of we've not been happy with some of our performances when we've conceded the first goal. And then it's like with Leicester this season, Matt. When we concede the first goal, it's like we know we're beaten.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I know we were 2-0 behind against Brighton, but that was, you could say the manager bounce in it, but it's just gone really sour from there. And Rude's never been in this position before. I mean, 2001 was the last time we went on a really long run in the Premier League without a win. I think it was 8 defeats on the spin. To end that run, Peter Taylor were manager, and obviously we played Tottenham Hotspurs in the 9th game, and we won that. Spurs went Leicester this weekend, and it could either be 8 defeats in a row for Leicester, or the run could come to an end and get a win.
That's the best thing about football fans, isn't it? You live in hope. Yeah,
of course. You've always got to back your team, haven't you? Leicester and Spurs have both won 1 in the last 10 league games. It's either be a 0-0 or a 4-4.
Is that what I thought Spurs would won 1 in 7, maybe, but I didn't even let past that point, you know. Look, I think, like I said, mate, you're playing against a team now where we've got players returning, you know. So I don't know, mate. I think Spurs win 3 or 4-1.
Yeah, 8 in a row. We lost in a row, and we beat Spurs 4-2. I don't know if you'd remember that, Matt. 2001.
Nah, mate. We don't talk about them ones, Jack. Power, weren't it?
Filbert Street. Yeah. Leicester, the last 5 then, Premier League head-to-head at Spurs. Played 5. You lot have won 4. We've lost 1. The last time we played you was a 6-2 defeat.
Yeah, that was Sonny hat-trick.
I was there that day. Relegation season. But then,
I guarantee you the win that you beat us.
Yeah.
Was that so during COVID? But then was it Robert Hoof when you won the league? Was it that one? Robert Hoof as well, wasn't it? When you beat us 1-0 or something, or was it 1-1?
Yeah, I think that was our last win prior to that.
Yeah.
In the league. Robert Who scored with 50 pence header from Christian Fuchs' corner. That was when Harry Kane hit the crossbar. I think it was before. We needed something special. It happened. But then the 6-2 defeat, I mean, first off, I thought we did okay. Maddison scored the absolute great goal, to be fair. Then second half, we fell apart and well and truly fell apart. You lot could have had about 8 or 9. That was probably one of the games I said that Brendan Rodgers should have gone after that game.
Yeah. How do you think you'll get on Sunday? Truthfully.
It's a tough game. Obviously, the way we are at the minute with the club and the way things are, you've got to find that glimmer of hope to hope you can actually overcome this and go and win at the weekend and get something. So it'd be big for us if we win, and then all the teams lose tomorrow in Ipswich, Southampton, Wolves, and them types of teams. If they lose, then we come out the relegation zone in it if we beat Spurs. But everyone looks at Spurs and they think, yeah, Spurs have got all these injuries. Easy 3 points today. You know, you're talking about bloody Leicester City going to Tottenham Hotspur, not bloody Everton or someone like that. You're talking about us. We're one of these sides where if teams haven't won in a long period of time, Leicester just say, we just turn into bloody charity FC.
Listen, you're going on like Dr. Tottenham don't exist.
Well, I hope we can take some good medicine on Sunday and start kicking on in the Premier League because we fucking need it. The thing is, we've got to take our chances, you know, what we haven't, but Spurs have got quality, haven't they, to put us away if we do make mistakes. Do I trust this defence against Spurs? No, I don't, to be fair.
The thing is, Jack, at home, we do create a lot of chances. So we do create chances. You might score 3, but Tottenham could go and score 5 down the other end, you know? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I don't know. Like, do I see Leicester beating Spurs? I don't know. But I see Spurs winning.
Clibo said it's Leicester's best chance to pick up a win since Wolves.
What's Clibo know? Who's Clibo when he's at home?
Clivo, well, he's saying that obviously Leicester lost the Wolves game, you know, but there's only so many times you can say must-win games, aren't there, Matt, in the league and that. Spurs are dross on current form, but I'll fear we'll roll over again. And this is the thing. If we roll over and get our bellies tickled, do you get what I mean? And if we don't turn up all together like we haven't been, we could be in for a very long Sunday, you know. I think I'd rather eat my nice roast dinner being cooked than bloody watching if we don't turn up, you know. But
Jack,
we fast Nicole on not the other 2 plumbers, but
Jack, the thing is, if we do pump you, I'm looking forward to your TikTok live driving back up. Yeah,
I'm going to add in, mate, if you lot beat us. I think to be fair,
I'm expecting you to go live as well, boy.
We've got to switch. I think we've got to switch formation in this game. Maybe a 3 at the back or maybe a 5 at the back.
You reckon?
Yeah, we've got to switch it up because a 4 is just been. This team has been trial and tested all season. It just hasn't worked all together, you know, with the team that we've got. You know, there's only so many times you can trial and error, aren't there, Matt, in the Premier League before it's too late. And if we've got to change it now, why we can, I think that's maybe what Rude has to do. He's got to change the formation up and see what we can put in there. Connor Cody's probably better in a back 3 than a back 2. But it's which players we pick. Like I said, we're really lacking in options. I mean, midfield, we're without Wilfred Ndidi, who's another key player to this squad. So we're having to go with what we've got. Obviously, Hamza, I think, he's off to Sheffield United on loan. So
yeah,
he's another one that's leaving. But yeah, this is going to be a tricky game. Am I confident?
Who's your game after?
Everton away.
That's the 6-pointer, that one.
Our Spurs in a relegation battle if we turn them over.
I said that though, didn't I? I said if we lose that, well, I'd have to start looking over my shoulder.
Just put 10 defenders out.
A lot of teams do it.
We don't have enough quality defenders for a free centre-back formation, to be honest. Don't even have one good centre-back. Yeah, they're all championship level, aren't they? You know, Justin's not been the same since his Achilles. Cody, Vestergaard just don't offer pace, does it? You know, you can just... And fast, he makes more mistakes than good.
Do you know what, Jack? As also, we've not played at home since, I think it was the Liverpool game when we beat them in the Carabao Cup. So we've played away recently, and so the fans haven't been able to get back into that stadium to give them, like, to get behind them. And that, so we've been playing away at Arsenal, Everton, Hoffenheim, and that. You know, I know we got a result at Hoffenheim, but we've been struggling away, and so I feel like you coming back, we're finally back home.
Yeah,
it'll give the fans the push to get the players to get behind the players. You know, like if it was away, I would say Leicester would beat us right now.
Well, we're not really been great at home either this season, so I don't know where to put our head with Leicester at the minute. Team selection, Matt. I mean, you've not really got many players to pick from, have you? With injuries and that. How do you see Ange sort of going in this game against Leicester? Does he make changes from that Europa League win, or does he go with the same team?
No, I think he goes with Kinski in goal. He'll go Porro, Radu, Ben Davis, and Spence.
Yeah.
I think he'll go Bentancur, James Maddison, and maybe Basuma. Or not Archie Gray. I think Archie Gray might go centre midfield, if I'm honest, this week. If he doesn't, because he's played a hell of a lot of minutes, he might bring in Basuma. If he's fit, he might be out still. But then I think he goes Sonny, Richarlison, Kulusevski.
See, you've got a good front, haven't you? In attack.
Yeah, they're coming back now. They're coming back. You know, they're gradually coming back. So
Leicester, Jesus, where do I put Leicester with this one? Stolasic in goal. Justin's going to start. I think he will go to a back four again with Fass. Maybe take Vestergaard out. See, Akoli's future at the club's finished. They're looking to get rid of him this transfer. No, Caleb Akoli.
Oh, right, yeah.
See, I can probably see him sticking with Vestergaard, to be fair. I don't think he'll play Connor Cody. I think he'll go Luke Thomas over Christensen. I mean, Luke Thomas were a very good player against Aston Villa. Midfield, he won't go for Skip. He'll go with Winks and Samare. Mavididi will start with Buonanotte and El Canous.
That Buonanotte is a good player, though, isn't he?
But it wouldn't surprise me if he goes with a Jordan Ayew over Buonanotte, especially after the fallout, what's bloody happened. Last game.
Buonanotte from Brighton. Very good player. Very
good. He's been a good player for us this season. I'd go for him over Ayew. If I'm honest. Striker-wise, we've just got two options, haven't we? Edward's not going to play, so I think he's going to go for Jamie Vardy. I think this is the only thing we can do, really, you know. But then again, I'd probably go with Koulibaly over James Justin. I forgot about Koulibaly. I'd start Koulibaly over James Justin, and maybe you could put James Justin at left back instead of Luke Thomas. But I want Buonanotte to start, but Ayew will start somehow. No fighters in our midfield. Canous is way better. He is 19.5 million, I think we spent on him in the window. Matt, score.
I think 3 or 4-1, Jack.
Really? Is that confident?
Yeah, you'll be puking up that chicken burger on the way home, mate.
I'll be putting that bloody cup on that bloody thing and letting it go up and getting a beer.
No, I think we're going to come flying out the blocks, mate. I think, like I say, it's the first time we're back at home for ages. And I think the fans will get right behind the team. We need a win. We have to start climbing the table now. There's no excuses.
Yeah, for sure. Mr. Magoon has gone 9-0 Spurs.
9-0.
I'm saying 4-1-2. Where do I go with this one? You'd always like to back your team, innit? You know, I'd like to see us go to Spurs and win 2-1.
Or get a draw.
But this team ain't good enough. It simply isn't. You know, if we start making mistakes at the weekend, we're going to get punished. And this league is very unforgiving. I I tell you what, I'm going to go 2-2. I'm not going to say we're going to lose. I'm going to go 2-2. It might be deluded by the end of it, but well, I've gave it a good crack. 2-1 Leicester. Callum's in. Clibo Buonanotte leaves Justin at Spurs. I love him, but that's a big issue. 5-0 Tottenham. This would probably be a 2-0 Tottenham, a 2-2, or a 2-1 Leicester. Yeah, I think it could be either way of them 3 results.
What's your biggest defeat this season?
I don't know. Biggest defeat is
it like 2-0, something like that?
3-0 against Man United, I think it was. 5-2 in the cup against Man United, but in the league, I think it's 3-0. 3-1 Spurs, Ricky Villa hat-trick. Oh, Newcastle, 4-0 Newcastle. That was our biggest defeat. 4-0.
Could be a repeat of that, Jack.
Spurs defence is too poor to not concede. I mean, we don't keep clean sheets. We don't, like I say, Matt, we don't keep clean sheets. So I'm not expecting one at the weekend. Yeah, it should be an interesting game. Hopefully, I'm not watching it through my fingers. But yeah, it should be good meeting up with you, Matt, on Sunday. We'll have a chat.
I'll meet up with you, man. Definitely.
And Matt, let everybody know what you do regarding Spurs and where they can find you on the socials and that.
Yeah, no worries. Hang on 2 seconds. What's Rossi coming out? Bam Bam Bigelow this week or what?
Roth ain't coming. He won't be travelling.
Is he not going?
No.
Oh, he's not there. He's saving himself. Nah, so like I do. I'm on Tottenham's Spurs podcast. Hark Now We're Spurs, and they're on all platforms. But myself as well. I'm always on TikTok, mate. On all your For You pages, trolling someone. Yeah.
Right, Matt. Thanks for coming on, mate. Appreciate it. And I'll catch you Sunday.
Jack, have a good one, mate. I'll drop you a message.
See you later, mate. That was Come On You Spurs, Matt Kerr. Yeah, go and drop him a follow on TikTok. Guys, if you've enjoyed this stream, hit the like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you're watching this on playback, let me know your scores ahead of this game. Can Leicester go and end the rot? And yeah, go and end this bloody losing run. Is the big question at the weekend. Tough game it is, isn't it? And yeah, let's see what happens then, shall we, on Sunday. I'll be there on Sunday. Matchday vlog will be out as well. Sunday as we take on Spurs. And yeah, give us some reasons to be optimistic, Jack. I tell you what, optimism-wise, I ain't got none. I don't think I can be optimistic. I'd like to say we could go and get a result, but yeah, the way we're playing this season, I don't think the optimism is there. I don't think the quality is there either. But yeah, the optimism it is on Sunday then. It's not going to be raining. It might be a bit windy. I'm playing turning into a weatherman. I might as well end the stream now. But all good. Appreciate it as always. Like Kibo says, out of curiosity, does everyone think Leicester are going down? Try and remove bias, mate. If you said it to me now, yeah, I just don't think we've got the team. If we go with this team after the transfer window and we've not got any players in and we've only signed the one, then I just don't think this squad's good enough to stay up, mate, to be fair. And like I say, this window was really make or break for Leicester, and it's proving to be more break than make. So, yeah, let's see what happens. I'll be back next week with also a match preview as well for Everton as I travel to Goodison Park for the very last time next week. So go and check out the Slippery Boots and Cycle of Turmoil, which is explained in John Percy's report. Go and check that out. I went through it with and discussed it all. We also touched on Ruud van Nistelrooy's press conference at this game. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Take care. Have a great rest of the evening, whatever you're up to. Keep it at the final whistle. And let's go, Foxes. Come on. Hi all. Thank you for watching the final whistle. If you enjoy all our content, please remember to smash a like, share, and subscribe to the channel.